You did not stumble upon this by chance. The very fact that your eyes are here, in this moment, is proof that destiny has aligned. A hidden rhythm has been guiding you, whispering through synchronicities, drawing you toward this exact frequency. What you are about to hear is not mere content. It is a mirror reflecting the truth you have been sensing all along. The veil is thinner than you realize, and your next chapter is already calling. Lean in, because this is not entertainment. This is initiation. You are about to win big, and this is the perfect timing. You are not lost. You are precisely where the path bends. Every step you've taken, even the ones that felt like mistakes, even the choices you regretted, even the delays that frustrated you, have been preparing you for this moment. Think of it, the times you almost gave up were not failures, they were thresholds. The nights you sat in silence wondering if life had forgotten you, those nights were not wasted, they were sacred pauses. Moments when the soil was still covering your seed. Moments when the roots were weaving in the unseen. You thought nothing was happening, but everything was happening, just not in the way you could measure. That is the paradox of becoming. You cannot see the tree inside the seed until it breaks open, and yet the tree has always been there. The universe has not abandoned you. It has been orchestrating you. Every detour that confused you was not a wrong turn, but a redirection. Every door that slammed shut in your face was not rejection, but protection. Can you feel that? How some things that once felt devastating now reveal themselves as perfect timing. The job you didn't get, the relationship that dissolved, the opportunity that slipped away, all of them were whispers, not of loss, but of alignment. You were not being delayed. You were being delivered into a greater unfold. And though you may have cursed those moments, they were sacred architects, chiseling you into the shape that could hold what is arriving now. This is why you are not behind. You never were. You have been exactly on schedule, even when your mind told you otherwise. What you call waiting has always been gestation. What you call stuckness has always been transformation happening in the unseen. Remember this. A seed must dissolve before it becomes a sprout. The breaking was not destruction. It was initiation. When you thought you were breaking down, you were breaking open. When you thought the silence meant absence, it was actually presence. The kind of presence that works beneath the surface, beyond what your senses can perceive. Look back at your life for a moment. Can you see the pattern? The way certain people arrived just when you needed them. The way certain challenges pushed you into strength you didn't know you carried. The way coincidences seemed to stitch themselves together like a hidden thread. None of that was randomness does not explain the rhythm that pulses beneath your story. It does not explain how something always caught you just before you fell too far. It does not explain how your spirit kept whispering to keep going, even when you felt like quitting. That whisper was not weakness. It was prophecy. It was proof that you were never walking alone. And now, the timing is shifting. What was once invisible is about to become visible. The roots that were hidden are about to press upward through the soil. The life you thought was dormant is preparing to bloom. This is why you have felt restless lately, why the old no longer fits, why the familiar feels too small. You are being expanded. The container of your life is cracking because your spirit has outgrown it. The very discomfort you resist is the sign that growth is happening. It hurts because it is holy. The ache you feel in your chest when you long for something more is not a wound. It is a doorway. It is your soul recognizing that the future is already here, pressing against the walls of your present. This is why you are here, listening now. You did not find this message by chance. The message found you because your readiness called it. You are hearing these words not because you are weak or lost, but because you are strong enough to step through what comes next. This is your appointed hour. The seed cannot remain buried forever. It cannot pretend to be asleep once the sun has warmed the soil. And you cannot remain small when destiny is calling you into expansion. So do not despise the waiting seasons. Do not label yourself late. You are not behind. You are right on time. Think of the butterfly. Inside the cocoon, it dissolves into what seems like nothingness. To the outside eye, It looks like death, but within that stillness, within that collapse, a design is taking shape. A design that was encoded into the caterpillar from the very beginning. That is, you have been in the cocoon, dissolving, unrecognizable even to yourself at times, and yet all along, the blueprint of your wings has been hidden in your being. That blueprint is now unfolding, whether you are ready or not. The transformation is no longer optional, it is inevitable. And yes, there were moments when you doubted, when you wondered if the promise you once felt was only an illusion. There were moments when you said, maybe I imagined it, maybe I'm not meant for more. But those doubts too were part of the process. Even the butterfly must struggle inside the cocoon before its wings are strong enough to fly. You did not imagine it. You did not invent your longing. You received it. It was placed within you like a seed. And seeds never lie. They may rest. They may hide. They may endure winters. But they never forget what they are meant to become. Neither do you. So breathe. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. Every bend in your journey has led you here, to this exact moment, to this perfect alignment. You are not standing at the edge of nothing. You are standing at the threshold of everything. And when you step forward, when you say yes to the unfolding, you will realize that the path was never broken, only bending. It was never lost, only leading. It was never silent, only speaking in a language you are now finally ready to understand. This is your moment. This is your appointed season. The soil has done its work. The roots have held their ground. The delays have ripened the fruit. You are about to win big, not by striving harder, not by forcing doors open, but by recognizing that you are standing at the exact place destiny has been guiding you all along. Do not hesitate now. Do not second-guess the whisper. The time of waiting has ended, and the time of rising has begun. This is the bend in the road where everything changes. This is the moment you have been prepared for. This is the hour where your seed breaks the soil and lifts into the light. And you, yes, you are right on time. You are not waiting for the right moment. The right moment has been waiting for you. Life is not something you are trailing behind, scrambling to catch up with. Life is the river that has been flowing toward you all along, and now it has reached your banks. Think about how often you have felt the tug of urgency within you, that strange restlessness that comes when you know something is near, but you cannot quite name it. That is not random anxiety. That is resonant. It is your inner being recognizing that the alignment you prayed for is finally brushing against the edges of your reality. The déjà vu you experience, the repeating numbers you keep seeing, the uncanny timing of people calling you just as you were thinking about them. These are not accidents. These are echoes of a reality that has already been written, tapping on your awareness, reminding you that you are not running late. You are right on schedule, and the schedule is divine. Even the dissatisfaction you feel with your current surroundings is proof that the season has turned. That sense that you no longer fit where you once did, that conversations which used to excite you now feel shallow, that places you once loved no longer give you the same spark. That is not something wrong with you. That is expansion. Just as a child grows restless in clothes that have become too small, your spirit has been pressing against the walls of your current reality, not to torment you, but to prepare you. If you felt perfectly content in the life you've already outgrown, you would never step into the one that has been waiting for you. The paradox is this: what you interpret as impatience is actually prophecy. What you call restlessness is the universe's way of moving you toward fulfillment. You are not restless because you are lost. You are restless because your soul has already glimpsed where you're going. You see, the mind is linear, but destiny is cyclical. Your mind tells you that you are waiting, but in truth, the moment has already circled toward you. It is not you waiting on opportunity. It is opportunity that has been circling, waiting for you to arrive at the vibrational frequency where you could finally meet it. This is why things that once felt impossible suddenly feel near. This is why you sense, without proof, that something is about to break open. Daily life may appear unchanged. Your routines, your bills, your obligations remain the same. But beneath the surface, alignment is clicking into place with precision. What you once chased is now on its way to you, and you can feel it pressing against the edges of your awareness, like thunder rumbling before the rain. And yes, there were moments you thought you had missed it. You replayed choices in your mind, wondering if you had taken the wrong path, if a single decision cost you everything. But hear this: you cannot miss what is yours. The door meant for you will always circle back until you walk through it. The relationship you lost, the job that slipped away, the opportunity that seemed to vanish. None of these were the final chance. They were rehearsals. They were shadows pointing you toward the greater doorway. If you had forced them open before the timing was right, they would have crumbled. The reason they closed was not because you failed, but because the soil was not yet fertile enough to hold what was waiting to grow. The delay was not denial. It was divine timing protecting you from a harvest too soon. Have you noticed how sometimes the things you wanted most only made sense in hindsight when they finally arrived? You said, "Ah, now I understand why it had to be then, and not earlier." You see, timing is the invisible architect of your life. You think you are walking through days, but you are actually walking through appointments written before you were born. The paradox is that you can never be early, and you can never be late. The moment you meet what belongs to you is the exact moment when both you and it are ready to be transformed by each other. That is what perfect timing really is. Not the clock on the wall, but the alignment of readiness. And this readiness has been building in you quietly. Every hardship taught you resilience. Every loss taught you discernment. Every delay taught you patience. You were being sculpted without realizing it, carved into the shape that could hold the blessing without breaking under its weight. Imagine giving a child the responsibility of carrying water in a clay jar that has not yet been fired in the kiln. It would crumble in their hands. The heat, though uncomfortable, makes the jar strong enough to carry the gift. That is what your struggles have. They have been the fire that prepared you to carry what you are now about to receive. So do not despise the waiting. Waiting has never been empty. Waiting has been weaving. Waiting has been forming connections that you could not see, aligning people and places and opportunities in a way that now begins to converge. This is the convergence moment. You are not stepping into chance. You are stepping into orchestration. You are not about to stumble into something random. You are about to meet what has been moving toward you since the beginning. And still, there is urgency here. Just because timing is perfect does not mean it will wait forever. Doors open when you are ready, but they do not stay open endless. This is why you feel the pressure now. This is why your heart races with anticipation even when you cannot explain why. This is the signal that alignment has arrived, and hesitation can no longer serve you. If you wait too long, the cycle continues, but you are invited to step into it now. Not another season, not another year. The reason this message found you at this exact moment is because the appointment has arrived. So trust it. Trust the restlessness. Trust the sign. Trust that what feels like the end of patience is actually the beginning of fulfillment. Trust that you are not chasing opportunity but being met by it. This is not coincidence. This is convergence. And when convergence comes, all that is required is your yes. One yes can turn alignment into embodiment. One yes can transform restlessness into realization. And you are ready, more ready than you think. The right moment is no longer in the distance. It is here. It is in your breath, in your heartbeat, in the alignment of everything that has carried you this far. The right moment has not been waiting on the stars or the calendar, or the approval of others. It has only been waiting for you to recognize that you are already standing in it. You are not approaching your destiny. You are inside it. And now, all that remains is for you to claim it. This is not about luck. It is about resonance. You have already begun to notice it, though you may not have had words for it. The way people have shifted around you, the way conversations no longer feel the same, the way opportunities seem to appear without you forcing them. That is not random chance. It is the field of resonance rearranging itself around you. You are no longer vibrating at the frequency of your old self, and because of that, you are no longer compatible with the things that once held you. Some relationships fade, not because of betrayal, but because they cannot hold the energy you now carry. Some situations collapse, not because you failed, but because your spirit outgrew the space. Even the emptiness you sometimes feel is proof that you are no longer where you were, and not yet where you are going. That in-between place feels fragile, but it is holy ground. Your discomfort is not a punishment. It is expansion in progress. Think of the snake shedding its skin. The process looks violent, uncomfortable, and yet it is the only way for life to continue. Think of the butterfly breaking free of its cocoon, struggling against the walls that once sheltered it. The struggle itself is what strengthens its wings to fly. So it is with you. The tightness you feel, the restlessness in your chest, the sense that you can no longer tolerate what you once accepted, is not failure. It is transformation. It hurts because you are dissolving the shape that no longer serves you. The paradox is that what feels like falling apart is actually falling into place. What feels like the end is the beginning wearing a disguise. You are not becoming someone new. You are remembering what you have always. The truth has been buried inside you all along, waiting for this precise moment to awaken. Every time you felt like you were not enough, every time you believed the voice that told you to stay small, every time you settled for less because you thought more was impossible, all of that was conditioning, not truth. And now, those illusions are crumbling. That is why it feels chaotic. Why you may feel like parts of your life are unraveling. You are not losing yourself. You are shedding what was never you. You are remembering. You are returning. You are awakening to the vastness that has always been hiding beneath the surface. Look closely at your recent days and you will see it. Have you not felt pulled toward new directions without knowing why? Have you not noticed how things you once tolerated now make you uneasy? Have you not sensed that certain people drain you while others amplify you? That is resonance at work. It is not about effort. It is about vibration. What you align with expands. What no longer matches you falls away. This is why some friendships simply dissolve without conflict. This is why some jobs suddenly feel unbearable. This is why what once made sense suddenly feels foreign. Your field has shifted, and life is reorganizing around your new frequency. Even the breakdowns have been part of this resonance. You may think of the times when everything seemed to collapse at once. Relationships strained, finances unstable, plans dissolved. Those collapses were not random cruelty. They were recalibrations. You cannot hold on to a frequency that no longer serves your expansion. Life loves you too much to let you stay in what cannot carry your next chapter. So it dismantles. It strips away. It burns the old structures down, not to destroy you, but to reveal you. The fire you have walked through was not to reduce you to ashes, but to refine you into gold. You can feel it even now, can't you? That quiet knowing deep inside. The voice that whispers that something greater is near. You have felt it in moments when logic could not explain it. When despite all evidence to the contrary, you still felt hope rising within you. That hope is not naive. That hope is memory. Your soul remembers what your mind cannot yet see. It knows the future is already written, and that you are only catching up to it. The paradox is this. You are walking into what has already been prepared, yet it feels like discovery. You are stepping into a destiny that has always belonged to you, yet it feels brand new. Even your smallest choices lately have carried significance. Have you noticed how following a gentle nudge, making a small decision from intuition, leads to a ripple of alignment? You think it is insignificant, but nothing is insignificant in resonance. The song you are drawn to, the book that appears in your path, the conversation that shifts your perspective, all of these are not accidents. They are confirmation. They are signs that you are already walking in sync with the field that is guiding you forward. What you once thought was luck is actually life responding to your frequency. And now you are on the threshold of something you cannot yet fully grasp. The resonance has carried you here, and it will carry you forward if you allow it. But this moment is not passive. Resonance requires recognition. It requires that you notice what is falling away without clinging to it, and that you notice what is arriving without dismissing it as coincidence. You cannot step into the new if you keep clutching the old. The door is opening, but your hands must be free to turn the handle. This is why your body has been speaking to you, through fatigue, through restlessness, through sudden bursts of energy. It is adjusting to the frequency shift. This is why your dreams feel more vivid, why your intuition feels sharper, why your emotions swing wide. You are recalibrating. Your field is adjusting to the vibration of what is coming. You are not unstable. You are being tuned. Just as an instrument must be tightened and stretched to play in harmony, your being is being stretched so you can play the song of your destiny. So do not fear what is leaving. Do not cling to what feels heavy. Do not mistake the collapse of the old for the end of your story. It is only the clearing before the rising. It is only the pruning before the bloom. You are not unlucky. You are not forgotten. You are not cursed. You are resonating. And resonance always attracts what matches. The opportunities, the connections, the breakthroughs, they are already circling you because your field has called them in. The timing, the people, the resources, they are not accidents. They are inevitability. You are not chasing the life you desire. The life you desire is being magnetized to you because you have become the match for it. That is resonance. That is alignment. That is why doors are opening without you forcing them. That is why paths are appearing that you could not have planned. This is your field at work, organizing reality around the vibration you now carry. And here is the urgency. This resonance is not abstract. It requires your agreement. It requires your yes. It requires that you trust the pull even when you cannot see where it leads. Do not dismiss it as imagination. Do not explain it away as coincidence. You are not imagining this shift. You are living it. And the more you honor it, the more it will unfold. So breathe into it. Trust the resonance. Trust that you are not becoming. You are remembering. Trust that what feels like collapse is actually convergence. Trust that you are not unlucky. You are aligned. And trust that everything you have walked through has only tuned you to this moment. You are about to see with your eyes what your soul has always known. The field has shifted. The resonance is clear. And destiny is answering. You are not behind. Time itself has been working for you. Every delay, every pause, every season that seemed to stretch longer than you thought you could endure was not wasted. It was sacred alignment. I know it felt like punishment at times. I know it felt like the universe was silent, that you were being overlooked while others were rushing ahead, stepping into breakthroughs while you were still waiting. But hear me, time has not been your enemy. Time has been your hidden ally, shaping you, protecting you, arranging what you could not see. There is no such thing as being late when the timing of your life is woven into a larger pattern. Think of the moments you thought you missed something, that the chance slipped through your fingers, that the opportunity passed you by, and then years later you realized how it would have broken you if you had stepped into it too soon. The relationship you thought you needed but would have drained you. The job you begged for that would have stifled you. The door you pushed on, only to find it bolted shut, and now you see that if it had opened, it would have led you into collapse. What you thought was rejection was protection. What you thought was failure was timing saying, not yet, because more must be prepared, both in you and around you. Time is not linear the way we believe it to be. Your mind sees only a line, a past and a future, and it convinces you that you are running out of something. But destiny does not move in lines. It moves in cycles, in spirals, in perfect returns. That is why certain lessons keep circling back until you receive them. That is why certain opportunities seem to vanish, only to return at the precise moment you are ready. The paradox of time is that you can never be too early, and you can never be too late. The moment you step into your appointed chapter is the only moment it could ever be. Even in nature, we see this rhythm. A tree does not bloom in winter, no matter how much it tries. The soil does not rush its harvest because someone demands it. The river does not apologize for its pace, and yet in their timing everything is flawless. You would never look at a rosebud and call it a failure because it has not yet bloomed. You would understand it is simply not its season. So why do you call yourself behind when you are still unfolding? Why do you measure yourself against someone else's bloom, when your soil, your seed, your sunlight are unique to your design? You are not late. You are right on time, though the calendar may try to convince you otherwise. The waiting has not been empty. It has been a season of ripening, Consider how wine is made. It cannot be rushed. Grapes harvested too soon cannot produce the depth of flavor, the richness, the strength of what they are meant to become. The longer the wait, the deeper the quality. And so it has been with you. The waiting has pressed you, tested you, softened you, strengthened you, and matured you. That ache you felt in the waiting, that longing that sometimes burned, was the heat of your becoming. It was never absence. It was transformation happening out of sight. And though your mind has fought against it, your soul has always known this truth. That is why, even in the longest delays, something in you refused to give up. That is why you kept going, even when you thought you were done. That is why hope returned again and again, even after disappointment, because your soul knows the secret, that time is not against you, it is for you. It knows that nothing truly yours can be lost. It knows that what is meant for you will always circle back, not in your impatience, but in your readiness. So let go of the guilt that whispers, I should be further by now. Let go of the shame that says, I wasted too many years. Time is not lost, it is late. The years you think you wasted are the very years that gave you the depth, the compassion, the wisdom that will allow you to hold what comes next. Without breaking, nothing is wasted. Every season has been carrying you here. Every delay has been bending you toward alignment. Every moment has been stitching you into the exact timing of your destiny. And now you can feel it, can't you? The shift in the air, the sense that something is about to break open. That is not imagination. That is timing converging. You are standing at the threshold of what once felt distant. And the reason it feels so urgent now is because the waiting has done its work. The soil has ripened, the roots have held, and the fruit is ready to be revealed. You are not arriving late. You are arriving precisely when the universe has aligned every detail to meet you. Think back on the countless times when what you thought was the end revealed itself as a beginning. You thought the closed door meant defeat, but later you saw it was redirecting you to something better. You thought the detour meant you had lost your way, but later you discovered it led you exactly where you needed to be. This is the paradox of time. It disguises blessings as losses, only to reveal them later as guidance. It disguises protection as rejection, only to uncover its mercy when the bigger picture emerges. So hear me now. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are right on time. And this exact moment, this very breath is proof. Because if you were meant to be elsewhere, if you had missed it, you would not be here now, standing at the convergence of your past and your future. Everything has been carrying you to this point, and nothing has been wasted. The timing is perfect, because perfection is not the absence of struggle, but the presence of alignment. And this is why you cannot hesitate any longer. Timing is a gift, but it is also a call. When the window opens, it does not remain open forever. When the tide rises, you must step into it. That is why you feel the urgency pressing on you now, why your spirit knows that hesitation can no longer serve you. This is your threshold. This is your hour. This is the moment when the hidden alignment bursts into sight, and what once felt delayed reveals itself as right on schedule. So release the fear of time. Release the anxiety of being late. Release the belief that you are behind. You are not behind. You are being carried. You are not late. You are being aligned. You are not forgotten. You are being remembered into the pattern of destiny. And now, the pattern is unfolding. The cycle has returned, and your appointed moment is here. Step forward, because time has never been against you. It has always been on your side. What you must understand is that the opening of the next door will not come dressed in the form you expect. It will not look like the polished version of what you once prayed for, nor will it arrive neatly wrapped in certainty. It will come as a paradox, disguised as both risk and invitation, calling you to step into the unknown with a courage you did not realize you carried. This is how destiny always reveals itself, veiled, mysterious, asking you to trust before you can see. The greatest thresholds do not announce themselves with trumpets. They whisper through synchronicities, through that quiet pull in your spirit that says, this way, even if you cannot explain why. And your task is not to question whether you are worthy, but to remember that the very fact you feel this stirring means the door is already opening. For so long you have been prepared, though you thought the preparation was punishment. The losses, the delays, the trials, they were chiseling you into shape, refining you, stripping away what could not survive the journey ahead. Do you see now that what you once called brokenness was actually the breaking of illusion? That what you thought was weakness was really the strength of surrender being born in you? You did not fail in those moments. You were being initiated. Every collapse was a secret doorway. Every ending was the universe taking you deeper into yourself, so that when the appointed opening appeared, you would not walk through it still bound by what you once were. And here is the paradox. The door does not appear because you are ready. You become ready because the door appears. Readiness is not the absence of fear. It is the willingness to step anyway. The threshold does not demand perfection from you, only presence. The next chapter does not require you to have every answer, only to bring the courage of your yes. Because it is not certainty that carries you forward. It is trust. Certainty will always collapse under the weight of the unknown, but trust will carry you through storms, because trust knows the storms are not meant to drown you but to cleanse you. Do not wait for the path to be free of obstacles before you walk it, because obstacles are part of the map. They are not there to block you but to shape the way you move. You will discover as you walk that the closed doors are guiding you to the right ones, and that the detours are teaching you strength you could not learn on straight roads. It will not always look like progress, but it will always be progression. The paradox is that even when you feel lost, you are still on the path, because the path is not outside you, it is inside you. The door you are waiting for is not somewhere in the distance. It is unfolding in the present moment. Consider how often the universe has spoken to you in whispers, a phrase that echoes in your mind long after you heard it, a stranger's kindness that lingers with you, a dream that feels more real than waking life. These are not accidents, they are signals, subtle alignments reminding you that the door is not random. It is written, and yet the writing bends with your choices, shaping itself around your yes or your no. The opening is real, but you are the one who must walk through it. Nothing forces you, and yet everything compels you. That is the mystery of divine timing. It arrives as both destiny and decision, a cosmic convergence that waits for the echo of your agreement. Perhaps you fear that you will miss it, that the door will close before you step through. But hear me, what is truly yours cannot be lost. The door will appear again and again until you recognize it. Life is merciful in that way. It does not deny you. It prepares you. It allows you to circle until you finally say yes. And when you do, it is as if you never left the path at all. This is why you feel the deep déjà vu of certain moments. Why some choices feel ancient even though you are making them for the first time. Your soul remembers the script, even when your mind forgets the line. But there is also a sacred urgency, because each time the door opens, it asks more of you. It asks you to shed what you clung to last season, to lay down the identities that kept you safe but small. You cannot carry everything through the opening. Some things must be left behind. And this is why the threshold feels so heavy, because you sense the weight of what must be surrendered. The familiar will call to you, begging you to return. The old self will whisper, reminding you of comfort, of predictability, of safety. But do not confuse safety with life. What is safe for the body may suffocate the soul. The opening demands that you choose life, even if it looks uncertain, even if it looks like risk, even if it looks like nothing you've ever known. And here is the wonder. On the other side of the door you discover that what you thought you lost was never truly yours, and what you feared to let go of was only the shell of who you were. Beyond the threshold you meet yourself again, not as the broken pieces you carried, but as the wholeness that was always waiting. You realize the pain was not punishment, but pruning. The loss was not a curse, but a clearing. The delay was not denial, but divine choreography, aligning you to walk through the door at the one moment when everything within you and around you could hold it. So now the invitation is before you, though it may not look grand. The door might appear as a small yes, a simple step, a quiet decision that feels insignificant to the world, but seismic to your soul. Do not dismiss the subtle openings. They are often the most powerful. A conversation you almost ignored could be the bridge. An idea you almost dismissed could be the seed. A chance that seems too small to matter could be the very key to the destiny you have been sensing all along. The threshold rarely looks majestic, but once you cross, you realize you have entered the sacred. This is why I tell you, do not hesitate. Do not shrink back into the illusion of unworthiness. Do not wait for the fear to vanish. Step now, step trembling, step uncertain, step with your heart pounding if you must. But step, because the door has already opened, and the longer you stand staring at it, the louder the old self will whisper. Trust the pull you feel, because it is not madness, it is memory. It is your soul recognizing the opening it has been waiting for. And when you walk through, everything shifts. The air feels different, the ground steadier, the vision clearer, not because the world outside suddenly transformed, but because you finally aligned with it. The paradox is that nothing changes, and yet everything does. You cross a threshold within yourself, and the outer world begins to bend to the shape of your inner alignment. The very same streets look different. The very same people reflect something new. The very same life feels like a new dimension, because the door is not simply about entering a new place. It is about becoming a new you. So here you are, standing where destiny and decision meet. The waiting is over. The preparation is complete. The fear is loud, but your spirit is loud. The door is before you, not by accident, not by coincidence, but by perfect timing, and the only thing left is your yes. Say it, not with your lips, but with your steps. Say it, not with certainty, but with trust. Say it, and watch the unseen align around you. The door is open, beloved, and it has been waiting for you all along. You have been taught to believe that you must chase after every good thing, that you must fight, strive, and exhaust yourself in order to prove you deserve what is already meant for you. But the truth is unfolding differently now, and you are beginning to feel it in the marrow of your being. The opportunities you thought you had to hunt down are beginning to circle back toward you. The doors you thought you had to break open are beginning to swing wide on their own. This is not laziness, and it is not luck. It is alignment. It is the strange, beautiful moment when the current of life stops resisting you because you have stopped resisting yourself. You are no longer pushing against the flow of your own destiny, and so the river is carrying you forward, carrying the right people, the right chances, the right resources directly into your path. And though your mind wants to dismiss it as coincidence, your soul knows it is orchestration. Notice how, lately, the things you need find you faster than before. A person speaks the word you were longing to hear without you asking. An idea drops into your spirit in the exact moment you were searching for direction. Even in small ways, like the song that plays on the radio just when your heart is heavy, or the message that arrives just when you are about to give up. The universe has been answering you before you can even form the request. That is because you are no longer vibrating in lack. You are no longer sending out the frequency of desperation. You are learning the paradox that the less you force, the more flows. Striving repels what you seek, but surrender draws it in. There is a moment in every transformation where the chasing ends and the attracting begins, and you are living inside that moment now. You may still feel the urge to control, to grasp tightly at what you want, but something deeper is teaching you to release, to soften, to allow, because you are discovering that true power does not come from clenching your fists, but from opening your palms. It is when you let go of needing it to look a certain way, when you stop bargaining with the timing, when you release the illusion that you are separate from the very source that sustains you. That is when alignment rushes in. It is not about doing nothing. It is about doing the right thing at the right time with the right spirit. Think of how nature operates. The flower does not chase the bee, yet the bee comes. The tree does not strive to bear fruit. It simply stands rooted, and the fruit emerges in its season. The sun does not fight to shine. It simply radiates, and everything grows in its light. You are learning to live in that same rhythm, not by abandoning effort, but by aligning effort with essence. When you act from fear, you chase shadows. When you act from alignment, the substance comes to you. And what comes will not require you to exhaust your soul to hold it, because it belongs to you by resonance, not by struggle. Do you see now why certain doors once slammed shut in your face? It was not because you were unworthy. It was because they required you to trade your essence for entry. And what belongs to you will never demand that sacrifice. That is why the old seasons were heavy, because you were carrying what did not fit your frequency. But now, as you release, what remains is what resonates. You are not being deprived, you are being refined. And in that refinement, opportunity finds you. There is a sacred paradox in this shift. The more you try to force control, the more fragile your grip becomes. But when you let go, the world bends toward you. The very thing you feared would slip away without your constant chasing actually finds its way home to you the moment you stop running. Love comes when you stop begging for it. Provision appears when you stop panicking. Breakthrough arrives when you stop believing you must bleed for it. It is not passivity. It is partnership with life itself. You are remembering that you are not a beggar in this universe. You are a co-creator. And yet you may feel the tension. Part of you wants to cling to the old way, the way of striving, the way of constant hustle, the way of proving your worth through exhaustion. But ask yourself, did that ever give you peace? Did that ever sustain you? Or did it only leave you more depleted, more doubtful, more disconnected from the very thing you were chasing? The truth is, you were never meant to live in constant fight. Yes, you are called to courage, to action, to perseverance, but not the kind that drains you dry. You are called to aligned action, to holy movement, to the sacred yes that arises not from fear of lack, but from trust in abundance. This is why you are starting to see synchronicities everywhere. Numbers repeating on clocks, opportunities unfolding just after a thought crosses your mind, people entering your life at the exact moment you need them. This is not superstition. It is synchronicity. It is evidence that you are no longer forcing your way against the current, but allowing the current to carry you where you were always meant to go. What you once called coincidence is the universe revealing the precision of timing. And the more you notice it, the more it grows, because awareness amplifies alignment. The urgency in this moment is not that you must run harder, but that you must trust deeper. The door is already opening, but it will not respond to force. It will respond to presence. It will respond to your willingness to stand in who you are, unclench your grip, and let what belongs to you flow toward you without manipulation. This requires faith, yes, but not the kind of faith that waits passively for rescue. It is the kind of faith that walks forward, knowing the ground will rise to meet each step. It is the kind of faith that acts boldly, not out of desperation, but out of alignment with the truth that you are already supported. So listen, you do not have to chase what is already chasing you. You do not have to grasp at what is already reaching for you. You do not have to fight for what is already yours by design. What belongs to you is magnetized to your being. Your task is to stay aligned, to stay attuned, to keep your frequency clear of fear, doubt, and self-sabotage. That is the real discipline, not running harder, but standing truer. And when you embrace this, you will begin to see doors open without you knocking, bridges appear without you building, solutions unfold without you calculate. The paradox is that your surrender will create more momentum than your struggle ever did. The flow will carry you further than your fight. The resonance will attract more than your resistance ever could. This is the way forward, not through chasing, but through allowing, not through desperation, but through trust, not through force, but through alignment. So step into this new rhythm now. Let the old way of striving fall from your shoulders like a garment you no longer need. Walk light, trust more. Act when the pull is strong. Rest when the whisper says pause. And know that both are sacred. You are not missing anything. You are not falling behind. The very opportunities meant for you are already circling, already aligning, already converging at your feet. And all they require is your yes, your openness, your willingness to believe that life does not withhold, it unfolds. You have been walking with the quiet sense that something larger is moving through you, though you cannot always name it. At times it feels like a weight on your chest, at other times like a fire in your bones, and sometimes it is simply a strange lightness that rises without warning. What you must understand is that this is not imagination. You are carrying a frequency, And that frequency is not only for you. Every word you speak, every choice you make, every moment you show up with honesty and presence, it all ripples outward in ways you cannot see. The paradox is that your life feels personal, yet its impact is profoundly collective. What feels like a whisper in your heart is actually a signal being broadcast into the field around you, and others can sense it, even if they cannot explain why. Think of the moments when someone told you that just being in your presence made them feel calmer, lighter, or more understood. Think of the times when your words, spoken casually, struck another person like prophecy. You may not even remember saying them, yet those words became a turning point for someone else. This is not accidental, this is resonance. And resonance does not belong to you alone, it moves through you, as though life itself has chosen you as a vessel for transmission. That is why your journey has felt so heavy at times, because you are carrying not just your own transformation, but the seeds of change for others. This is why your struggles were never wasted. The betrayals, the heartbreaks, the nights you thought you would not survive, they were not only shaping you for your own becoming, but tuning you into the frequency that could help others. It is often the wounds you thought disqualified you that make you magnetic to those who need your healing. Your story, with all its fractures, is the very bridge others will walk across. You have lived through fires so that your presence could carry warmth for those still walking in the cold. The paradox is this: the very places you thought broke you are the very places where light now pours through you. And it is no accident that you are hearing this now, because the time for hiding that light is over. For too long you have been shrinking, questioning whether you matter, silencing yourself in rooms that needed your voice, convincing yourself that invisibility was safer. But do you not see, even your silence has been loud, even in your quietness, your energy has been felt. You could not hide even if you tried, because resonance is not contained by volume. It leaks through your presence, and it shifts rooms simply because you walked into them. Others feel it, you have seen it in their eyes, though they rarely have the language to name it. They just know something moved in them when you were near. That is not small, that is sacred, and now you are being asked to stop doubting what has already been confirmed again and again. You are not ordinary, though you may live in ordinary rhythm. You are not insignificant, though your mind has told you so on your hardest nights. You are carrying something, and the world is waiting for you to recognize it. This is not arrogance, it is responsibility. It is not about making yourself greater, it is about realizing you were never small. The paradox is that your humility does not come from denying your light, but from allowing it to shine for others. What good is a flame if it hides itself for fear of being too bright? You have also been prepared for this through the tension you feel between isolation and connection. There were times when you were pulled away from circles, friendships, and environments you thought you belonged to. At first it felt like rejection, like exile, but now you are beginning to see it differently. That distance was not punishment, it was refinement. You had to learn the difference between noise and resonance. You had to leave spaces that drained your frequency, so you could return to spaces that amplified it. And though loneliness pierced you in those seasons, it was shaping you into someone who could stand alone if necessary, someone who could carry their frequency without constantly needing it validated by others. Because when you carry light, you cannot always expect the darkness around you to celebrate. But still, you shine. Your victory, when it comes, will not be private. It may feel personal to you, but in truth it is generational. The shifts you are making in yourself ripple forward and backward in time. They heal bloodlines, they awaken friends, they inspire strangers. Every act of courage you take breaks chains you cannot see, chains that once bound others to. The paradox is that by winning for yourself, you are opening the way for many. You are not only answering your own prayers, you are becoming the answer to prayers whispered by others who do not even know your name. This is why urgency clings to your spirit, why you cannot simply coast through life as though you were anyone else. You have felt it, the restlessness that refuses to let you settle, the inner push that will not allow you to remain where you are. It is not because you are broken, it is because you are chosen. This calling will not let you rest in complacency. It will keep stirring you, keep pushing you, Until you recognize the truth, your life is not just your own. You are a thread in a vast tapestry, and your alignment holds together pieces you cannot yet see. And do not be afraid of the weight of that truth. Do not mistake responsibility for burden. This path will not crush you. It will complete you. You are not being asked to carry the world. You are being asked to radiate your frequency into it. You are not meant to force change in others. You are meant to embody the change, and resonance will do the rest. Light does not need to argue with darkness. It simply shines, and the darkness cannot remain. In the same way, you are not required to prove your worth. You are required to be, and in your being the field shifts. So understand now, you are not just walking toward your own breakthrough. You are becoming a signal of breakthrough for the collective. The transformation in you is not contained. It is contagious. The love you cultivate spills into rooms. The peace you guard ripples into conversation. The courage you embody sparks courage in others. And this is why it matters that you step into your fullness without delay. Because others are waiting. They may not even know they are waiting for you, but their souls will recognize the resonance when you finally stand unhidden. This is your role in the collective shift. Not to carry every burden, not to save every soul, but to live in such alignment with who you truly are that your very presence becomes a transmission. And when you walk in that truth, when you allow your light to radiate unapologetically, you will see how naturally others begin to awaken, how effortlessly opportunities begin to align, how synchronistically paths begin to converge. For the paradox is simple yet profound. The more you realize this is not only about you, the more you discover it has always been for you as well. What you must realize now is that this moment is not the end of your becoming, but the unveiling of what has been waiting inside you all along. Everything you have lived through, every trial, every triumph, every unanswered question and sleepless night, was not scattered chaos, but choreography. You were not stumbling through random events. You were being rehearsed for revelation. The twists of your path, the strange detours, the collapses you thought would break you, all of it has been shaping you into a vessel strong enough to carry the next chapter. And now you stand at a threshold where the past does not define you, but prepares you, and the future does not frighten you, but calls you. This is not the end of your story, beloved. It is the opening of your mission. Think of how many times you whispered prayers in the dark, asking for answers, asking for guidance, asking for breakthrough. At the time, it seemed as though silence was the only reply. But look closer now, and you will see that the silence was not absence. It was incubation. The answers were not denied. They were gestating. And now, in this precise moment, they are emerging, not as something separate from you, but as you. Do you see? The paradox is that what you once begged for has already been placed within you. You thought you were seeking something outside, but the journey was always inward. What you were waiting for has been waiting inside you, waiting for the right time to emerge, waiting for you to finally recognize yourself as the very answer you were calling toward. This is why the weight feels different now. In the past, your burdens felt crushing because you carried them as someone incomplete, as someone striving to become enough. But something has shifted, and now you are beginning to feel the truth. The burdens have not grown lighter. You have grown stronger. You are no longer the seeker chasing the horizon. You are the transmitter, the one who carries the horizon within. And because of this, your steps now echo differently. You are no longer asking whether you belong on the path. You are the path. Every step you take creates the very ground others will walk upon. It is here that the paradox becomes luminous. The moment you stop striving to find the way is the moment you realize you are the way. The map is not etched in the stars or hidden in the wisdom of others. It has been written into your very being. This is why you sometimes feel restless in spaces where others seem content. You are not restless because something is wrong with you. You are restless because your soul refuses to be boxed in by what is too small. You are not built for cages, even gilded ones. You are built to transmit a frequency of freedom, and the world feels it every time you choose authenticity over conformity, every time you embody courage instead of fear. And so the invitation before you is not to dream smaller, or to dim yourself to make others comfortable. The invitation is to step fully into the dimension of yourself you once doubted was possible. Every skill you have learned, every scar you have carried, every strange synchronicity that has followed you, all of it has been converging into this unveil. You are not just a product of your past. You are the culmination of something far greater. This is why your timing feels so precise right now, because life has been aligning not only circumstances around you, but also energies within you, so that you could finally stand and see yourself as you truly are. And yet with this unveiling comes a sacred urgency. The mission that has been placed inside you is not meant to be postponed forever. It is not meant to be hidden behind excuses or drowned out by doubt or smothered by fear. It is meant to be lived, boldly, visibly, unapologetically. The paradox is that destiny is both patient and urgent. It waits for you, but it will not wait forever. Each time you delay, the stirring in your chest grows heavier, the longing in your soul becomes louder, the sense of incompleteness intensifies. This is not punishment, it is calling. It is life itself reminding you that you are here for more than survival. You are here for transmission. You are here for awakening. You are here for the unfolding of a mission that only you can embody. And so the time has come to stop asking for permission. You do not need the world to validate what has already been written into your spirit. You do not need confirmation from others when the universe has already marked you with synchronicities, with visions, with the undeniable pull of intuition. The paradox is that the moment you stop waiting for permission, the world begins to align in your favor. What once seemed closed begins to open. What once resisted begins to support. What once ignored you begins to recognize you, because the external mirrors the internal, and the moment you step into your authority, the external world responds in kind. You are not at the end, you are at the beginning. And this beginning carries within it the energy of culmination, because every chapter before this has led you here. Every unanswered question, every detour, every heartbreak, all of it now folds into the revelation that you are not incomplete, you are not behind, you are not late, you are precisely on time. The mission you carry is awakening, because you are awakening. The very prayer you whispered years ago is unfolding because you have become its embodiment. You are the answer you once sought, and when you finally step forward in this truth, you will realize that what you thought was the destination was only the threshold. And as you cross it, everything begins to move differently. You will see doors open, not because you forced them, but because they were always waiting for you to arrive. You will feel relationships shift, some falling away and others deepening, not by accident but by alignment. You will notice opportunities magnetized toward you, not because you chased them, but because you became resonant with them. The paradox is that your external life changes most profoundly when you stop striving to change it, and instead allow your internal alignment to radiate outward. What is within always creates what is without. So hear this as a sacred confirmation. You are not on the verge of something, you are in it. You are not preparing for the beginning. You are the begin. You are not waiting for your mission to reveal itself. It has already revealed itself as you, and the time to step into it is not someday, not when you feel more ready, not when the fear vanishes. The time is now. Say yes with trembling hands. Say yes with an uncertain heart. Say yes with courage that shakes and faith that wavers. Say yes anyway, because it is not perfection that activates destiny, it is willing. And once you step, the path will rise to meet your feet, the support will appear, the resonance will ripple, and the mission will unfold. You are standing at the threshold of your unveiling, beloved, and the only thing left is your agreement. The universe has aligned, the timing is perfect, and the mission has been waiting long enough. Step forward now, not as the seeker but as the transmitter, not as the question but as the answer, not as the one waiting for destiny but as the one embodying it. This is your initiation, this is your unveiling, and this is the beginning of the mission you came here to live. So hear this not as content, but as confirmation. You are about to win big, not someday, not far away, but now. The alignment has already been written into your story. The only missing piece is your yes. Say yes to your path, yes to your intuition, yes to the breakthrough pressing at your door. This is your sacred initiation. Step through boldly, for the timing is perfect. and your destiny will not delay again.